Hey my beautiful Sagittarian peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot and I'm coming at you with your mid-April 2023 tarot reading. How are you? I hope all is well. Just want to mention before we go ahead and start, if you're interested in personal services, products, and so much more, feel free to check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. It's going to be the first link in the description below if you're interested. But Saggy, let's see what's going on here for you and let's go ahead and get it popping. What's going to be going on here for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-April 2023. What information is going to be showing up here, please, for the zodiac sign of Saggy? Messages here for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-April 2023. Having a look here at the overall energy for you. We're going to start out here with the King of Swords. So, King of Swords coming into play here for you. You could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. You know, typically with that King of Swords energy, it's very much so about being very disciplined. Some of you guys could be finding that you're being more disciplined in your life. You could be sticking to like a very solid sleep schedule, very solid kind of routine for some of you as well. Could be like a gym routine. It could be like a routine in general just for every day. You're trying to get into like a good kind of routine and make sure that you're building more healthier practices. That could be something happening here as well, jumping into mid-April. But overall, though, big energy of discipline, really standing by what you're setting out to do. So I like that a lot for you guys. So far, we're looking at a pretty great start. Having a look here into your current situation. Let's see what's up here for that. What's going to be the current situation here for Sagittarius throughout mid-April 2023? We do have here the Fool. Next card is going to be the Two of Wands. And then lastly for you, we have here a Tower coming out as well. Okay, so Fool card, Two of Wands, and the Tower. There does seem to be a new beginning at play here for you. I definitely feel like some structure in your life with the Tower is falling apart. And it's a massive realization that something here needs to change. So you're kind of getting this massive awakening, I feel, coming into mid-April of like, okay, something here definitely has to change. Like I said, it could be something like a health regimen that you're starting to really incorporate. You know, maybe you've been not getting a lot of sleep, and the lack of sleep has really been really difficult for you to deal with. You know, when you have a lack of sleep in your life or when you're not getting enough rest, it can mess up your mental performance. It can mess up your physical performance. So, you know, maybe some of you guys are being really aware of this and you're like, okay, time to be very strict on my sleeping schedule so that I can make sure I perform and I get my tasks completed on a daily basis. If it's not about sleep or anything like that, it could be literally anything in your life right now that you feel has been making a bit of a negative impact on you. And with this negative impact it's been making, you know, it's time to go ahead and change and shift into adapting a more positive routine here that's really going to work for you going forward. Because looking at the Two of Wands here for you in your current situation, you're like, I have two paths I can go down. I can keep on doing the same thing I'm doing and get the same results, or I can switch up what I'm doing and get positive results instead. Because the results you're getting from whatever's happening, whatever kind of like routine or same energy you've been in, has been giving you a negative result, right? And the more that we do the same thing, we get these same results. So it's time to switch up what we're doing to get a different outcome. Yeah, I like it. Very, very good. All right, moving on forward here for you, Saggy. Let's see what you should be aware about jumping into mid-April 2023. So what do Sagittarians need to be aware about throughout their mid-April, please? Saggy, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Taking a look here at the first card, we got here the Justice. Next card coming out for you is going to be the Emperor. And then we also have here the King of Cups, followed up here with the High Priestess. Okay, so you could be dealing, by the way, with a Libra, an Aries, or possibly a Pisces, because we do have that energy showing up here for you. Now, the Justice card here in the Emperor. Taking a look at it in terms of awareness, I feel like you should be aware that you're more balanced than you give yourself credit for. I think that as you're kind of like merging into this new routine, you should give yourself more credit for how much is actually changing. I think that there might be a part of you that's wondering like, okay, you know, this new routine I'm practicing or this new way of life that I'm practicing, like, you know, maybe I could be doing more, maybe I could be doing better. You know, I feel like you shouldn't judge yourself. Like, do your best not to judge yourself here going forward. I think you should be aware about being overly judgmental towards yourself. You know, we've all been there. I've been there before. You know, I sometimes can be my biggest critic. So I think that it would be the best advice I can give you is to not be your biggest critic, but be your biggest supporter, you know, jumping into the second half of the month. King of Cups, be super compassionate and loving towards yourself. High Priestess, you know, at the same time as well, too. I kind of feel like for some of you, it would be very good to be moving low key. I feel like one thing to be aware about is moving low key is probably going to serve you the best in your favor. Sometimes when we tell people our goals or our dreams and our aspirations, what ends up happening, unfortunately, is that those people might be sneak hating on us, you know? So those are individuals in our lives that maybe are jealous of what we're doing, or maybe they're people that just aren't very supportive, because we can have people in our lives that we don't realize are not very supportive until it's kind of like too late. So I would kind of just keep it really low key what you're doing. moving into mid-April. You know, if you're starting a new health regimen, let it work for you. Glow, shine, have your glow up. You don't really need to communicate it too much to people that maybe you don't trust. You know, you can tell your inner circle. You know, if you're switching up things in your career and you're going towards a path you really want to be a part of now, you know, you don't have to share that with everybody, I feel, because of course, unfortunately, there are some people in our lives who are just plain old not supportive. You know, that's what I see here for you. So I think what to bring into your awareness, at least here, is be as compassionate to yourself as you can be. Do not over stress yourself or get to a point where you kind of invalidate the growth in your journey that you're having here in mid-April. Be proud of yourself, be your biggest supporter. Know that you're doing a lot better than you think, especially with the changes you're making accordingly. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say here for you. What other information does Sagittarian need to be aware about coming into mid-April 2023? We have here the Chariot, we have here the Five of Wands, and we have here the Two of Cups. Yeah, you're growing, all right? I keep getting that message here of like, don't be frustrated with your growth. Don't have any expectations for change or for growth overall. Appreciate it day by day. No matter if it's a small win or a big win, a win is a win. If it's a small victory, a big victory, a victory is a victory. So it's kind of like the growth you're receiving is growth. Do not, you know, expect a certain level of it and appreciate every growth you've made, nonetheless, if it's small or if it's huge. Okay, so I get that sense here for you, and it's definitely going to help, by the way, too. The more that you move out of that energy of judging yourself, the more that you can be your number one supporter, the more you're going to develop a way better relationship with yourself here, with a Two of Cups showing up here as well. So yeah, you're really locking in here coming into mid-April. You know, the King of Swords was the overall energy. Overall energy of the King of Swords was describing the energy of being very disciplined. I don't know, something here shifting here with the Tower, you know, whether it's like the way you've been thinking can certainly be shifting, who you associate with can be shifting, the actions you've been taking, maybe some of the bad habits you've had, any bad or negative habitual patterns can be shifting as well at this time while you're replacing them with positive ones. And you're really feeling like a different person because, you know, doing the same thing that has a negative impact on you is going to give you the same shitty negative results. And you're like, I'm over that. I'm ready to reinforce some positivity in my life. And you're actually going to start seeing it work out here. Like I said, though, the only warning I kind of have for you is to not overthink it and to not set too high of expectations. It's like, appreciate your growth, even if it's little or if it's big, you know, growth is growth. Definitely go ahead and continue to appreciate that. We have the Ace of Swords coming out. Ace of Swords showing up here for Sagittarius. Why the Ace of Swords? Why is this card randomly jumping out here at this time? And we have here the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I think that at the end of the day here, Sag, Ace of Swords is a card here that represents being brutally honest with yourself. And I think it's super important here to make sure, jumping into mid-April, that you have a very honest connection with yourself. What I mean by this is don't be afraid to tell yourself a harsh truth. Don't be afraid to tell yourself exactly everything that you need to hear, not what you want to hear, but at the same time, support yourself. Does that make sense? Don't lie to yourself, be honest with yourself, but don't gut yourself or tear yourself down. That's one of the most important messages I'm getting here for you guys. So have as much compassion as you can, but also embrace a lot of honesty, and having that healthy kind of balance is really going to promote a lot of good changes for you here jumping into your second half of the month. Cool. All right, guys, moving on forward, you know, is there anything else Sagittarian here needs to hear? Maybe something different entirely for their month. So whatever it may be, is there anything else here that Sagittarians need to hear regarding mid-April 2023? First card out, we have here the Strength card. Moving into the next card for you, we have here the Six of Swords. We also do have here the All Gifted, which is the High... It's not the High Priestess, actually. This is a different card. I think that this is the 79th card in this deck, if I'm not mistaken. We have an Ace of Pentacles, and we have here a Judgment. So I'm going to read this intuitively, but let's go ahead and take a look here first and foremost at the Strength to the Six of Swords. I do see for some Sagittarians, there's definitely going to be something you're leaving behind here. Now, I've talked about this already throughout the entire reading. You're leaving behind a bad habit, a negative person, whatever the case may be. This situation feels more intimate to me of what it is you're leaving behind, because when I look at the All Gifted here, it kind of feels to me like you were dealing with someone in your life who had a very significant importance. Now, if this is a friend, if this is a lover, or if this is somebody within your family sector, I do get the sense for some Sagittarians, not all of you, but a few of you, you might be leaving behind somebody in your life who was very important to you at one time. The only thing is about this person now is it's like the truth is they're not the same person they were. You know, so this person was so important to you for a reason, and that's because of how they treated you, the person that they were. But now when you look at who it is they are, they're very different. And I feel like somebody has fallen out of resonance with you. The energy and the person they've morphed and become is just not in alignment with you anymore here at this time. So if you're a Sagittarian here, you might be going through a little bit of a stage of grief in reference to having to let go of who somebody was and having to be accepting of who they are now. I do see that situation showing up here for some of you. So someone is definitely different now in comparison to who they used to be in the past. And there's a little bit of a grieving situation going on here for you. But I think at the same time, though, it's not one of those things where it's like you have to abandon this person, because you have an opportunity now to get to know them all over again. Ace of Pentacles here to the Judgment. You know, you have an opportunity to get this person, or to get to know this person on a whole new level and get to explore who they are now. So I do feel for Sagittarius here, if you kind of miss who someone used to be, I wouldn't give up on who they are now or who they're becoming. You know, they might not be entirely everything that you resonate with, but I think that you might not be so upset to get to know who they are now, if that makes sense. So random message, but I feel like you wouldn't hate getting to know the new them. All right, that's what I want to say here for you. So if you're a Sag, I wouldn't judge a book by its cover yet. I wouldn't completely, disband and let go of somebody who isn't who they used to be. You know, this new person they become, I would try to get to know them. You might be surprised at how you feel about the new them. Okay, just throwing that out there for you. All right, though, Saggy. Pretty interesting read so far. Let's see what advice the universe has for you for your second half of April. So what's going to be some advice from the universe here for Saggy, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-April 2023. Taking a look here at the first card for you, we have here the Seven of Swords coming on out here. Taking a look into the next card, we have here the Magician, and then we also have here a Prince of Cups coming into play as well. Universe here is saying right now with the Magician card to the Seven of Swords, you got to be mindful at every given moment in time, what energy am I attracting to myself? I think that the more you can be aware of what kind of energy you're drawing in, the more you can have control over what kind of energy comes into your life. Now, this kind of goes to the premise of what you put out there is what you get back. I think the universe is trying to say, be incredibly careful, because it could be very easy this month to fall into putting out negative energy and attracting that negative energy back. Now, your entire reading is about transforming and pushing away from the negative and entering the positive. But it can be very easy, especially with Mercury being in retrograde at this time, for miscommunication to happen. And if miscommunications happen, it can definitely make you look at certain people and have a sour taste in your mouth in reference to those people. And if you do, it can kind of prime you to maybe feel like you don't have good things to say about certain individuals. So I would be mindful first and foremost of miscommunication, but second of all, I would be mindful of engaging in any sort of negative talk at all towards others or yourself, because what you do put out there is what you get back. Now, I'm not saying you're necessarily intending to be negative towards certain people, but let's say somebody, you thought somebody was talking shit about you, but it was really just a miscommunication. That can spark a negative reaction within you. So that is something you want to be careful about here, is what I'm feeling for Sagittarius moving in the second half of the month. A little bit of a warning here from the universe. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you see. Things can be very easily lost in translation here at this time in the second half of the month. I would approach every situation with caution and every situation with love, because the more you can approach every situation with love and with an open arm and with an open mind, you can get more of a better perspective instead of looking at something and only seeing it in one way and one way only. So I get the sense here, it's like if you hear rumors about you in the second half of the month here, if you hear that somebody said something negative, or if there's drama showing up, don't go into it guns blazing. Go into it with an open mind and see if you can get the real and true perspective. All right, is what I would say here for you guys jumping into mid-April. Anything else that the universe has to say, though, for Sag that they need to hear? We got here the Death card, we got here the King of Wands. Yeah, I mean, things in life are changing. Right now, I think the best advice you guys can have is go to what feels right, go to what you're attracted to jumping into mid-April. If you're attracted to a new kind of lifestyle, try it out for yourself, If you're attracted to a new kind of job or a new kind of career space, dive into it, see what happens over there. If you're attracted to a new person, see what happens. It's definitely a new time here of opening yourself up to new beginnings overall. So I definitely feel like with this new regimen and with these new changes shifting in your life, there's also going to be new things that come along with it. So don't be afraid to have new experiences, would be one of my best advisories I can give you here as well. And looking at one more card, we got here the Sun card, right? The Sun card here says, be happy, okay? This is definitely a time for happiness in your life. While you're moving out of maybe negative habitual patterns, or you're moving away from negative people, whatever it is you're letting go of, a broken foundation in your life that no longer serves you, whatever it is you're letting go of here, you're trying to replace that with positivity in your life. So do what you can to be as happy as you can, but also be open to the new experiences that are going to manifest, because certainly there are going to be some new experiences coming in here for you. Okay. All right, though, Sag. Cool. Let's go ahead and have a look here at the overall outcome for you. All right, what's going to be the overall outcome here for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-April 2023? What's going to be the overall outcome here? And what do we got? We got here the Five of Swords, followed up here with the Five of Cups. Absolutely. You know, taking a look here at this energy, it's going to be a grieving process. You know, I think that the old version of who you are is not who you're going to be anymore going forward. You're shedding old skin. So Five of Swords here is about having to no longer fight the energy to hold on to who you used to be, but actually allow yourself to grieve this part of yourself you no longer want to be in your life so that you can shed that skin and become transformed. So that's the vibe that I'm feeling here for you guys moving throughout mid-April. Some of you here might have a hard time letting go of this old version of yourself that you don't want to be anymore because you've been so invested into it for years. But I think that you have a lot more capability in you than you give yourself credit for. So continue to be a part of your path, continue to stick to doing what you want to do. Remember, if we do the same thing, we're going to get the same result. If we do something different, we're going to get a different result. So you got to kind of do what you can here, King of Swords, to continue to stay disciplined. Even if it's a little difficult, even if it's a little hard, you guys got this. I want to reinforce that for you. Okay? So yeah, looking at the outcome here, it's about having to not battle against yourself and stay stuck in the same place you've been, but it's about having to fight to become that new version of yourself and have that new version of your life that you really, really want to enjoy. All right? All right, though, Sag. With that being said, I love you guys. Looking forward to your transformation here. It looks pretty damn cool. And I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. I hope it did resonate to you. And of course, if it did, please do let me know down in the comment section below. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I'd be more than happy to welcome you here into the Soul family. Of course, if you're interested in a personal reading, check out my website. First link in the description below. I'd be happy to meet you over there. But Sagittarius, have a great day. Have a great rest of your April. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Much love and have yourselves a good one. Peace.